Good afternoon!
This afternoon on Chicano News Today, we have a trending story about high school students of East LA. Chicano high school students are currently struggling with certain things like high school dropout rates, low college enrollment rates, discrimination, and segregation. East LA high schools have a dropout rate of 45%, which is extremely low. Not only do Chicano students have a low dropout rate, they have a low college enrollment rate as well. Every 1 out of 4 Chicano students actually graduate from high school, and only 2% make it into college. Chicano high school students suffer from corporal punishment. If a Chicano student in an East LA school was to speak a word of Spanish in the classroom, they are ordered to come to the front of the class so their teacher can strike them with a paddle on their rear end. That is extremely cool. Why are these children being hit because of them speaking their language? Chicano high school students also are forced to clean as a punishment when they get in trouble. What happened to a detention or suspension depending on what they did? Off to Ina J. Sanders with trending topics.
Hi. Today's surveys were handed out at East LA schools. These surveys asked students questions about how they were being treated in schools. Most students said they were not being treated fairly and wanted more Hispanic culture integrated in their schools. This week, multiple walkouts have occurred. It all started on March 1st, 1968, when 5 schools totaling 4,000 students walked out of school around 9 o'clock. By the end of the week, 16 schools totaling 10,000 students were walking out. Police were brutalizing students, beating them to the ground. Today, 13 people were arrested on 15 accounts. Conspiracy to disrupt schools, and 15 counts conspiracy to disrupt the peace. These charges have a maximum of 66 years in prison. People arrested include Sal Castro and multiple people from the Brown Berets. Today, it has been discovered that the FBI has been following around kids from East LA schools to gather information. This was a part of something called the Counterintelligence Program, and the LAPD had infiltrators that were involved in school meetings to get more information. Off the table.
During these walkouts, there were many people involved, but specifically, the people who were involved were Carlos Montes, a community educator, Paula Cristomos, a student leader, Sal Castro, a teacher helper, and Bobby Verdugo, an educator. The group that helped them was called the Brown Berets. They are a Chicano organization that emerged during this movement and were organized December 3rd, 1967. In March of 1968, they organized the first school walkouts to change the educational system on behalf of La Raza. The Chicanos have been considered a racial minority, and the events that are happening today make things worse for them, and it needs to be stopped. They are discriminated because they weren't taught their native tongue in school, and they spoke their language, and if they spoke their language, they would get beat. Segregation-wise, the Chicanos were greatly segregated in schools, and the Brown versus Board of ruling was supposed to eliminate segregation across the whole East LA, but unfortunately, they were not.
Live from Chicano News Today.